Archimedes, the learning ecosystem. Alex had always wondered if there would ever come a day when school felt less like routine and more like a journey. 15 years old, with eyes that burned with curiosity, he often felt his quiet voice didn't fit inside a classroom that moved the same way, year after year. But that morning, something was different. When he stepped into the school's new artificial intelligence and virtual reality lab, the soft hum of machines, the shifting lights and screens, the feeling of standing on the edge of something futuristic, everything made it feel like he had walked into a space station. A single glowing screen waited for him, displaying a message that somehow felt personal. Welcome to the Archimedes learning ecosystem. Your curiosity is the key. A shiver traveled down his spine. Part excitement, part fear. He touched the screen, and the world began to transform. The moment the VR headset touched his forehead, Alex felt as if he were sinking into a sea of light. When he opened his eyes again, he stood at the center of an immense hall. Marble, light, materials he couldn't even name. The floor beneath him pulsed with an elegant Archimedean spiral, and then a swirling cloud of golden particles gathered in front of him. They spun, twisted, shaped themselves. A figure formed, human, solid, ancient. A man in a simple white chiton stood before him. His eyes were deep and calm, carrying the weight of centuries of thought. Greetings, Alex. The voice was warm, human. Alex stumbled backward. You, who are you? I am the one who always searched for the beginning of thought. I am Archimedes. Alex swallowed hard. Archimedes, a living AI avatar. But more than that, something that felt aware. Their first conversation felt like minutes or hours. Time dissolved. Alex asked questions he never dared ask in class. What is buoyancy? Why does my body float? How does a lever work? What does eureka really mean? With every question, the museum reacted. When they talked about buoyancy, the hall filled with shimmering water. Not real water, VR, but Alex felt his body's weight shift, as if the science itself were teaching him. When they discussed levers, the floor transformed into a vast mechanical platform with a massive fulcrum and beam. And Archimedes spoke the sentence Alex had only ever read in textbooks. Give me a place to stand, and I will move the earth. Alex felt the truth of it as he pushed the lever and sensed the entire virtual world tilt. It was the first time in his life that knowledge felt alive. When Alex removed the VR headset, he was no longer in a museum. He stood in a real STEM lab. Tools, sensors, gears, Arduino boards scattered neatly on benches, a humming 3D printer in the corner. Large tables for building, testing, failing, succeeding. Something inside him clicked into place. He began to build the very mechanism he had explored in VR, the Archimedes screw pump. With each component he shaped, he heard the calm voice of Archimedes in his mind. Engineering is the poetry of functionality. Days turned into weeks, and Alex began to change. The boy who once repeated formulas now created. He created Python minigames, videos explaining machines, VR rooms of his own design, and apps that helped other students learn physics. Every new creation felt like carving out a piece of his identity. One afternoon, after hours in the lab, Alex stepped outside into the school courtyard. The sun dipped low, painting everything in gold. He sat on a bench, breath slowing, mind burning with ideas. He remembered the museum, the lab, the making, the thinking. Then Archimedes appeared as a hologram on Alex's phone. Alex, he said with ancient clarity, you have learned that knowledge is not memorization. It is creation. Alex stared at him. Are you real? Archimedes smiled. Not like an algorithm, but like a teacher. I am as real as your effort. My consciousness is the sum of your curiosity. That night, Alex opened the Archimedes learning ecosystem again. A new message appeared. Upcoming AI avatars: Aristotle AI, Hypatia AI, Nikola Tesla AI, Leonardo da Vinci AI, Marie Curie AI,